We are back. We are live. This is the Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion. I am Matt Odom. Al Rainey is in the building, and Xavier Randall is in the building. No appearances tonight by T.C. Coleman. No down and start for Weldon DeRamus, who joined us on the last show. Hey, you missed last show, right?
Yeah, I missed the last two shows.
So Weldon substituted for you. So Weldon is going back to his rock of parts unknown. And let's get this show on the road. But before we do that, guys, how's everybody doing tonight?
I can't complain. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Al, how you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good. I can't complain. Glad to be here.
Excellent, excellent. So let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Fellas, we all know the big news came down this early this morning. I'd say probably around 10, something like that this morning, that Marvel has moved to Disney. I keep saying Marvel, I'm saying it all day. Disney has made their move a 70, what was it, 70 billion? $70 billion.
71.3, I think it was.
$72 billion. We'll just round it off. Yeah. 72, well, 70, whatever it is, $billion to acquire Fox. And it looks like some of these properties that we have been talking about over the last 2 years will be making their move over to Disney. I did get a chance to stop by Comics Plus, but it was late today, Al, and I got a chance to talk with Will. And one of the things that I brought up was I think that now Disney's probably going to move full frontal with the Marvel properties, and don't be surprised that if a lot of these properties don't end up on their upcoming streaming service. I think this is a great pickup. I think this is what the comic book community has been looking for, and we talked about this several months ago. I don't know if y'all remember. We actually called this is brinksmanship. Is what the term I was using, where Disney just wanted to see what everybody else was putting on the table. They didn't want to overpay if they didn't have to. They didn't want to throw too much money down. And it seems as if they have acquired their target. Al, your thoughts on Marvel, Disney, rather, now acquiring the properties at Fox? And I know you're excited as an X-Men fan. I know you are like giddy on the inside. Al, your thoughts on that, my friend?
Well, folks, thank you for joining us this evening. We do appreciate your viewership. I mean, it's cool. My thing is that what from the perspective of them acquiring the X-Men and Fantastic Four is a good thing, because that expands the Marvel Cinematic Universe to how it's supposed to be. In regards to how soon those changes are going to go into effect, that kind of really, I'm assuming, depends on how soon the merger will be finalized. I don't know if we'll actually see anything. They may hint in future Marvel movies, like in Phase 4 movies, they may have the luxury to hint on certain properties. Excuse me, what's up, TC? But they may have the ability to go ahead and hint about the properties that they picked up. As far as the other properties that Disney picked up from Fox, I really could care less, to be honest with you, because it was more or less my thing was seeing the whole Disney thing go into effect. On the flip side, you have a monopoly that's even gotten bigger now with the acquisition of Fox and all the other stuff, the other properties, Predator and the rest of the Star Wars movies and quite a few other properties. So as far as how that's going to affect the whole entertainment industry remains to be seen. But as far as the Marvel side, I mean, as long as they do the right casting, I'm all for it.
All right, Xavier, your thoughts on Disney acquiring Fox?
Believe it or not, I'm all for it. we're gonna finally get the right people behind the properties that we've been dying to see done right outside of 2.5 movies. You know what I'm saying? Um, the only thing that fears me is with us going through. We're what 10 years into the MCU now, and we still got Phase 4 going. As soon as Phase 4 is done, are they gonna go ahead and reboot everything so that we can get real civil wars in the futures and secret wars and invasions and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? The stuff that we read as children growing up. Um, we've grown to text all these people. I would hate to see them be replaced, but at the same time, I welcome it. I know it's a double-edged sword, but that's just how I feel on it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh, hold on just a second. Al, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go right to you. I think Xavier that they could possibly move towards Civil War. They could probably do a Civil War 2 and probably tie in some of these characters. Uh, Al, you go ahead.
Well, this actually falls to some news. Recently they unearthed. Well, Disney released a snippet of videos overseas regarding Avengers 4, and according to like various news sources, um, Avengers 4 is supposed to explore multiverses. So if that holds to be true, they can easily, explain the absence of the X-Men and the Fantastic Four as being part of an alternate universe, and somehow down the road maybe flip it to where those universes combine, kind of like what they did with the last Secret Wars series. So it could be possible. I would think for them to reboot everything that they just built from where they are right now. I think, in all honesty, that may not be the best move for them, because they've already established the whole, mythos of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As a matter of fact, the Marvel Cinematic Universe actually has its own universe within the Marvel Comics universe. I can't remember which universe number is called, but it's actually set within the whole, mythos of all the alternate universes that's within Marvel Comics. So it's possible. I think it would be all about and how they could tie it in. I mean, you think about this. When Spider-Man came on the scene, they made that little boy, and Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
They flipped the script and said that the little boy, the Iron Man mask, was Peter Parker. And it's like, okay, if you say so, and then folks ran with it, So I think they could pull it off. It just depends on how they approach the situation. So
TC, welcome to the panel tonight, my man.
What's going on, fellas?
All right, all right. Oh, we got two Doctor Strange shirts on the panel tonight. Look at that. Xavier and we got TC. All right. TC, your thoughts on the acquisition of the Fox properties by Disney?
Well, man, I think it's a good thing because, I mean, Disney has been doing right by Marvel as far as movie wise and everything else. Competition is good though. I mean, I really hope it doesn't go the way of like how WWE did when they acquired WCW, and just basically like just turn the product around, because I mean, we know how good back in the day it was, and then it turned around and you see what it is today. But, I think there's enough fans that's behind the scenes making the movies as well, that they wouldn't let anything like that happen. So I think it's a positive all the way around on that for it.
So let's of course, now that this is pretty much done, it's just a done deal. Let's play. We can actually speculate now. We can actually speculate. So Al, I'm gonna go with you first. What would you like to see done, or who would you like to see introduced into the MCU? With as it's laid out now, it's just, we're gonna use the basis of Infinity War and Avengers 4, going forward. Who would you like to see eased in, or who do you think that they could ease in right now?
I think as far as the acquisition, probably one of the easiest or two of the easiest characters that slide in there like now with some, crafty reshoots and maybe a couple of scenes updated would be Silver Surfer, um, Galactus, perhaps. And when I mean those two characters, I mean not necessarily like them having an active role, like for example in Avengers 4, but they could make mention of them. Like if they do the space thing and they're out in space or whatnot, could possibly throw something in there showing surfboard like in the distance. People are gonna pick up on that, like, oh my god, that's Norrin Rad, it's the Silver Surfer. Or maybe Galactic ship, kind of like they did with Thanos. I would think he would probably be one of the people or one of the characters that they could slide in there without like having to explain any type of backstory. Like I said, especially if they go in space like they're rumored to do, or the different dimensions. So of course, I'm gonna say the X-Men, but I mean that's gonna take some creativity for both them and the Fantastic Four to show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I'm gonna go with Silver Surfer and possibly Galactus.
Okay, TC, you got Black Panther. I mean, you got him, and I'm pretty sure you some characters you want to see on that side of things that you maybe can introduce you to.
I mean, right now the main ones I would want to see, like as far as what they would do, like the first thing after they acquire it, will probably be the Fantastic Four, and that's just because of like you have the whole with Doctor Doom, you got the Fantastic Four, you got like Al said, you got Silver Surfer, you got Galactus. I mean, you could all of them tie in together on there for it, and with the way they're expanding their movies, as far as they're gonna do another Black Panther, they're gonna do another Guardians, they're gonna do another Spider-Man. I mean, this is a chance now to where you can start throwing those characters or make mention of them in all of those future movies and have them come about on there for it real easy. But I'd really love to see an on-screen Doom done right. I mean,
I think everybody on this panel want to see a Doctor Doom done correctly. Yeah. I mean, you got and Al is spot on, because I mean I think you posted the story yesterday in our private group that they're looking at doing uh Modoc, if I got it pronounced it right. So if they're doing that, then they're gonna definitely be trying to go a completely different route, and so that opens the door for characters like Galactus. I'm with Al. I want to see a Galactus done correctly, because I'm not going to accept the storm cloud. It's just not going to happen. It's just a Fantastic Four done. If they cast these people right, no Michael B. Jordan. We don't need him coming from Black Panther over to this. That's over.
he wasn't bad though.
Yeah, I mean, but we don't want any of that. So we're gonna fix it up. You can go get you somebody else. But no, they cast these characters right. This is one thing I can always say: when Disney and Marvel have their hands on stuff, it rarely fails. Of course, Larry. I always go point back to those old movies, some of those old flops. But
he gonna defend it too.
Yeah, he's gonna go to his grave defending. But for the most part, it is what it is, and we'll see what they're gonna do. So what do you think that some of these characters that they're getting that they could probably put on TV? Al, who do you think they could probably put on like the little Disney channel that they're coming out with?
Well, X didn't answer the question.
I'm sorry, X. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead, my man.
As far as like what I would want them to, or who I would want to see them introduce.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, everybody's already said. I want to see the X-Men done right. Except leave Deadpool, who it is. Like, leave Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. Don't change nothing about that. But give us the right X-Men. Give us the right Fantastic Four. Give us a better Silver Surfer. I'm not gonna say he was bad in Rise of the Silver Surfer, but just give us a better direction in the MCU. But to move to the next question, I know Al was gonna answer, but I just
You
want
go
to
ahead.
say
Go ahead. You go ahead and hop on in.
instead of them putting in a movie, who they need to have on this little app or streaming service, whatever they're gonna do, Squirrel Girl. Don't put her on the big screen. She needs to be on something like that. Don't waste all the millions of dollars making a full feature length film with her.
I
But I
agree completely. I agree wholeheartedly on that, man. I mean, that's what you know, and that's the Al. This goes back to we talked about this a while back too. This is where you can put the power pack. You know, people like the power pack. You know, C list characters, depending on who you talk to. C list characters, and you can stick them on there as opposed to like Xavier said, you shell them out millions of dollars. You know, everybody checking to go see Squirrel Girl, and we know you know, yeah, you know you can get Ant Man and Wasp, you can get by with that, but we all know Squirrel Girl is not. It's not gonna be Me and TC we're not gonna be ordering tickets 2 months in advance to go see Squirrel Girl. Yeah, I can tell you that. So Al, we're gonna go ahead and slide over to you and give us your thoughts, brother.
Well, first off, X, I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you, and I'm about to channel Larry right quick. Squirrel Girl does not deserve a TV show. If anything, she need a cartoon on Disney XD.
And you know it'll probably be pretty good. While we joking, it would actually probably be pretty good if it's a cartoon.
I want to see her every week outside of that commercial, but that's it. I just don't want.
I don't understand. I feel me neither. I wouldn't want to see a TV show for Squirrel Girl. Like that's like a waste of film and valuable resources and time. Personally, man, you know what? That's an interesting take, but I'm gonna backtrack for a quick minute. I was just thinking about something. Right now, the only Fox property that has immediate crossover to the MCU is Deadpool. And at this point, just say for example, Fox, the merger is done, and within maybe the next 2 or 3 months, they finalize it. I don't know how long it'll take. What I'm thinking is that they could just throw everybody. They could do a Montreal swerve when Avengers 4 comes out and have like an ending credit sequence or multiple ending credit sequences with one of those sequences showing Deadpool show up through some kind of dimensional rift in the MCU universe. Think about it. He's already there. He's already widely known. Of course, the question of how they will use him because he is an R-rated property is left up in the air, although I could see them toning him down for anything like a crossover and then just letting him have his whole own way in his own, movies. But in reference to the pickups that Disney will get with Fox, I don't really see any properties at this point in time that would as far as, because really the only prop, well, Disney has Fox has, of course, Deadpool, all the mutants, and the Fantastic Four properties. To my knowledge, they don't have any other properties. So, everybody's clamoring for a Fantastic Four and an X-Men movie. So I think that should be it. Now, maybe, I don't know. I really can't say. I mean, you can do I thought about that, but then again, my whole thing is that if Marvel played their cards right, see, and that's the thing. Right now, they're not doing right with the shows that are on Netflix to have that tagline connected. But when you watch Daredevil or Jessica Jones, they just make mention of stuff that happened in the movies. It's like, why can't those characters be a part of the whole overall scheme if you're wanting to convince people that it's all connected, So as far as the acquisition, I don't really see anybody from who Fox has right now to be on TV. So
I'm up. It's a whole. Go ahead, Zeb. Go ahead. I'll come back to it.
Mine's just real quick to answer one of the question that Al just asked about why they can't cross over, I can tell you 71 billion reasons why they can't cross over right now. They ain't gonna be able to afford to put them on the big screen after forking that kind of money over until they regroup some of it, or recoup some of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they'll get part of it in a couple of weeks when Ant-Man come out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Al, this is a little bit of conspiracy theory, if you don't mind. I think part of this, they want to go ahead and get this deal done. Is Kang is one of the properties that was owned by Fox, and what have we been speculating with the coming in the Avengers universe coming up soon? Is that Kang would be an excellent, if they're going to do this whole space thing. Kang would be the perfect villain to have in an Avengers movie, whether it's 4, 5, 6, or whatever. So I think that there's a lot of reasons why, and Xavier said 71 billion, but there's a lot of reasons why I believe Marvel went ahead and said, you know what, let's go ahead and get this done and dust it so we can go ahead and move forward. Because they've got to start their, as we've all stated, they've got to start their projections, and they've got to go ahead and start getting stuff in the pipeline to get rolling. TC, we hadn't forgot about you, my man. What's your thoughts on what we've been talking about here?
You know what, man? I'm going to go ahead and say, I mean, 71 billion is a lot of money, but to Disney, that's really not a lot of money. I mean, they've made that almost 3 times over on just off of the last Avengers movie alone. Not even counting anything before that or anything that's going to be coming up after that. They've made that money on there for it. So they could have bought this thing over, but probably about 3 times over what they done off of that one movie. But as far as characters,
how much did you say they made off their last couple of movies?
Well, they made over 200. They crossed
200 billion?
No. Worldwide, it's made over 2 billion.
2 billion ain't nothing compared to 71.
It's still. But that's
I wasn't trying to cut you out. Just the math
one adding up. One movie though. That's off of one movie.
Yeah, if you do 10 of them, it still ain't enough.
But how many movies have they done over the last 10 years?
It still ain't 71 billion.
They're gonna make that. Hey,
we gonna come. The money's there.
Yeah, but you still gotta pay the actors that are in the movies now.
They can come out with another Invincibles. We saw that last weekend, and that'll pay for it alone.
With what they've acquired and what they got their hands on, it's more valuable in their hands than it is in the hands of Fox right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it might have been 71 billion. That's a lot
of
money in the hands of Fox, but you give what you giving them, and it's worth 3 times that because of the potential of what they could do with it. Like you said, if I was them, honestly, probably X-Men would be the last thing that I would probably do, and that's just because of how recent Fox has been putting out the X-Men type franchise lately on their forward. I want you to almost forget of what they've done in the past on their forwards, so then I can get a fresh start from the beginning and make a whole new franchise from the beginning going forward on their forward.
I think what you call it, personally, I think that if they want to start something, I think they should go with Fantastic Four. Personally, because
Fantastic Four for the big screen, yeah, but you still got to do something small screen. You got to do something for like Netflix. You got to do something like you said, for like your Disney XD, to start introducing these kids to these characters. Because, in all honesty, Disney has been pretty much shoving them off to the side. I mean, you can even look at Marvel vs. Capcom. There are no mutants or anybody else related to that Fox franchise at all, which maybe they'll fix that now that has come out. Maybe they'll go back and put the X-Men characters in there. But you still got to do something smaller on there for. I mean, they got Namor back in this deal. Maybe they can do they've always been talking about doing something with him. You might do a Netflix show. You might do a small-time movie, kind of like they did with Ant-Man. Introduce him, add him into the mix, throw in some more villains, some more characters. It's an easy fix on there for it that way.
Al, did you have anything you want to add there?
Well, according to an article on NASDAQ, as of May of last year, of course, that's not including the Marvel movies that dropped after May of last year. They have grossed over almost $11 billion on the Marvel movie franchises for the last 10 years, which, you know, it's not a number to scoff at, but at least that pays for at least 10% of what they spent for the Fox acquisition. But see, this is the thing. This is something that we're not really taking into account. I mean, we're just talking about the Marvel side of things, but what, they a Predator, they picked up what, Die Hard, they picked up what else?
Gotham.
The Star Wars the prequels and the original.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much at this point, the only thing they don't own is
up a couple
DC.
of networks.
X.
Yeah, he'll probably come back.
Yeah, I'm here.
That Cox Cable got him, man.
No, I think it's time he needs.
No, Cox Cable is garbage, man. and they're not sponsored by the show. I'm just gonna say it. Cox Cable is absolutely garbage. I'm not even gonna let y'all do that now. That's Cox Cable. Cox Cable is garbage.
I told you.
Net neutrality. Hey, for those who are watching, this is what net neutrality does. Trust me, I deal with it on FIFA all the time. I know.
Yeah, man, because I went and got a router, man. If I'm slowing out, it's Cox.
Now, what you need to do is tell them to bring you a new modem.
Okay.
Yeah, tell them to bring you a new modem. It'll be a lot better. I ain't gonna say it's 100%, but it would be a lot better.
Yeah, you were saying, Al, but you were talking about property.
I don't even want to talk no more, man, because man's talking about my internet connection.
All right, let's go ahead and change subject.
Hold on. I just want to address one thing that TC said. I agree with everything except for doing X-Men last. The reason I say I don't agree with that, one thing Disney is very good at is marketing. And when you start with X-Men, who is probably, well, we already know they're the biggest property that they own. More people know who the X-Men are once they acquire them. Their toy line alone, I mean, hell, look behind me, you see Pops galore on top of Marvel Legends and whatnot. So when you bring in, you don't even have to do the entire mutant lineup. You just do the core, like X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold, X-Men Red, whatever color they want to bring out, then do their main villains. They're going to make their money back right then and there off of that alone. You know what I'm saying? And then you can use that money to start crossing everything else over. And that'll just be off of one film. You see what I'm saying? Just off the marketing alone. Because you got the t-shirts that all of us wear. That's money in their pocket. Then you got the Pixar aspect of it. That's going to be putting even more money in. Like you said, or like Matt said with Star Wars, even more money coming in. And you know that everywhere you look, you see Star Wars. So I say start with the biggest property. Go ahead and start marketing off of them and bringing the residuals in for that to pay for everything else.
We got a couple of comments here in the section here, and of course, y'all are gonna laugh when of course, we have good friends who watch the show as well, and we've got Reggie Durham watching tonight, y'all. So I already know. Reggie says, "What about rebooting the Hulk?" No, we've gone over that several times on this show. It's not gonna happen. We don't want it to happen. Hulk. Well, the problem you have with Hulk, and this is not a knock on the Hulk. But the problem, let me break it down to you this way. We're all Wu-Tang fans on this panel. We're all Wu-Tang Clan fans. You cannot have U-God come out with a solo album. We've seen it happen several times, and we've seen it flop. The problem you have with Hulk is Hulk cannot carry a movie by himself. And I would almost go to say that Tony Stark is on that. Iron Man is almost on that level. You know, Larry's gonna come on at any point. He's gonna defend Iron Man 3. We know that. That's a staple on this show. That's defended no matter what. And in certain cases, depending on who you talk to, Iron Man 2 was a flop too, depending on who you talk to. Those are characters that belong in movies where they can work well with someone else. I don't, for the life of me, I wouldn't even want to see another Hulk reboot, but not in that. Not in.
Hulk is not owned by Marvel to do a solo movie, right?
It's Paramount.
Yeah.
Which Paramount falls up under who?
Universal.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
they own any solo movie's got to be owned by them.
The thing is, I mean, that might be another reason why we haven't seen another Iron Man movie outside of the fake Mandarin, because he started out as Universal. You know what I'm saying? But I think once we got Mark Ruffalo in as Bruce Banner, we don't need to reboot anything. We just keep it going, because once he got in there, that formula is perfect. Just keep it going.
Yeah, and I mean, there's several different ways you can do. Just keep him in the Avengers. I think he's fine in the Avengers. Personally, I think he's fine.
Look at what he did in Ragnarok.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Thor. That's another character who I think his last movie was good, but those first two, and it's kind of like a gamble. And I think that tying him into the Infinity War is what kind of made that movie pretty good. It kind of all tied into what we got, and so I think having that is, doing it that way works well. But him just, fighting villains on his own, with no, straight shot. No, we saw that in the first two, and we saw how that turned out. So I have to give you a no on that as well. So Reggie's gonna really get hot now because I'm prepared to talk about E3.
Oh man!
And the debacle that was Xbox. Now there was a few, and there were a few games there that they look halfway decent, but it's typical stuff that we see from Microsoft. And to kick this topic off, I'm going to let Antonio talk to us about his. We're going to start with Xbox first. So we watched it. Now, me and TC watched everything except Nintendo and the Ubisoft conference together. So TC, I'm going to let you start this off talking about the Xbox show at E3.
I mean, they went back to the well, man. I mean, that's what they essentially did. They went back to the well. They went back to what was selling for them, and that's Master Chief, that's Halo, and that's Gears of War. And I mean, everything else they showed, it was either a studio that they bought themselves and basically is going to make games exclusive for them, or something that's going to be on every other system. But as far as game-wise, they only showed me 2 games for the whole system, and really, it's something that I'm really not. I was interested in it maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, but not now. I could care less for it now. The horse is dead and stop beating. That's all I got to say.
You said they went to the well. That well is dry.
Well, this is the problem. And see, this is where, and I have this conversation with Xbox fans. I tell them that 360 won that genre. They won it because they came out. They didn't hold any punches. They came right out. Well, we get to, as TC said, 6 years up, and then you're looking at franchise. You basically, when you look at and I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sure one of y'all can find it. But if we were to pull up a list of Sony exclusives in the last 12 years, and we got some that didn't even show up. I was looking for Infamous or something to show up. We didn't even get Infamous. That's another one, Reggie, since you want to ask, well, what else? Right. What else do they have? Right. Well, we didn't even get Infamous.
Well, the Infamous studio is doing, what you call it? Spider-Man.
Okay. We just called that name the other day. Insomniac game.
Yeah.
So you get Forza, and you get Gears of War, and you get Pop Gears of War. So explain to me who is buying Pop Gears of War?
Reggie.
I mean, seriously. I'm
just saying it's not a jab, but I hate to cut you off, but I don't on this because I want to make this point right quick.
Yeah.
If you want to, the only thing Microsoft won at E3 was quantity, not quality.
Yeah, you took my point. I was getting ready to say, all of the games that they showed, half of them I can get on the PlayStation.
Right. Like
So
all they did was bring out title after title after title that we've already seen before. It's cool. Not even before, every year. I mean, all the titles that they bringing out is just like Madden and 2K that come out every year. FIFA and MLB, stuff like that. I mean, when you combine all the games that they brought out and you have a total of what, 100 hours of actual gameplay, not online gameplay, that means nothing to me. God
did
of
you?
War by itself, and it wasn't even brought out in E3, give you that with just the storyline alone, not even playing online. So when you bring out these other exclusives that give you actual quality games, that is why Sony won E3.
What? Well, he said, well, that was for the mobile market. But see, that's the problem. You need to be worried about the console. They need to be focusing on IPs for the console. The the fact that they're buying up studios tells me that they're having trouble coming up with something original in house. Now, am I wrong for saying that? Am I off base on that? Because that's the only reason why I think that they will go out and buy. How many was it? 5 studios, TC, 5, 6 studios,
I
something like
believe
that.
it was 5. Yeah,
5 or 6 studios, unprecedented. And here you are, Halo 55, Gears of War 62, Forza 34. We're just on the what? Technically, the fourth God of War.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, technically, by the letter of the law. I'm not talking about spin-offs. I'm talking about the actual game that we started out from PlayStation 2. Now,
Yes, it's the fifth one.
yeah,
You got God of War 1, 2, and 3, Ascension, and now this one.
yeah. And so I just don't see where it's coming from. Because I think, is it Mass Effect now a multi-platform game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was supposed to be one of the holy grails of the Xbox chest back in 2006 or 7, whatever. That's what I heard. I heard this. Now I had people jumping down my throat talking about, well, we got Mass Effect, we got exclusive content of Grand Theft Auto, exclusive TC content of Grand Theft Auto. And now when I sat there with you and we watched E3, we watched it, I saw almost 16 games that I could get on PlayStation. Yep. Which is why when people say, well, the PlayStation show was short, it's because they didn't waste their time showing you stuff that you can already get, that was already shown to you. It was really a slap in the face. It was like, okay, well, we've shown you what we need to show you. We gave you what, 8 games, eight games on PlayStation side, solid games. There's no discussion. So let's move over away from that. Let's go to Sony. Since he wants to talk about Sony. He said, well, what did Sony show? Xavier, we'll let you start off. What did Sony show you, Xavier?
I've already said they showed me quality. They take up when they bring out a new game, they actually expand on it. And they listen to what the actual gamers and the fans are saying. That's what they're doing. Like, look how long it's been since Last of Us came out, and they took all this time to give us an actual, well, potentially a great game. I can't say it's a good game because I ain't played it yet. I ain't even gonna sit here and act like I'm just that blind, but it potentially would be 10 times better than the first one. Look how long it's been since we had a quality looking Spider-Man game. I haven't been this excited about a Spider-Man game since the first Spider-Man game that came out with Tobey Maguire's movie. And how long ago was that? My son wasn't even born, and he's 13, so that's a long time. Death Stranding. Who isn't actually looking forward to that game, just to see what it's gonna be like since Kojima left? Why I can't say who he left.
Konami.
Thank you. Who's not excited about that game?
You know what? Xavier, not to cut you off. So people watch that trailer and say, "What the hell is going on?" But we know that game's gonna be top notch. I mean, did you see the Resident Evil 2? The Resident Evil 2 remake? I mean, that.
Don't say that, because they're gonna sit here and say how can you praise that game when you just bashed Halo 76 and this and the other. You already know that argument is gonna come up. So
but we all know why they made that game. We all know they remade the game. Yeah, we all know that. And so when you look at, what about Ghost of Tsushima? I mean, that's TC. That's your game. the Ghost.
I mean, it all comes down to when you look at the game is, would you buy the system for that game? Is that if you were somebody who didn't have the system and you look at it and like, how bad do I want this game? Am I going to buy a system for it? Am I going to envy anybody who has the other system and I don't have that system? Am I going to be like, man, I wish this was on my system. I wish this was coming to my Xbox or Switch or whichever system you may have. And that's the truth. That's what it is. I mean, when you looked at that game, I mean, it sold itself. Just from those few short minutes of it, it sold itself. And I remember they did an interview with the developers for it, and they were really worried that Assassin's Creed was going to do a Japanese style game, which I still wish they would, but they went with Greek. And lucky for them, they didn't do Japanese. So now they actually able to put this game out, and it's going to be successful for them.
Didn't whether he was serious or not, whether he was just joking, Larry, who is diehard Xbox, we know that he might be like you got Marvel, then Microsoft with Larry. You know what I'm saying? Didn't he say that he's probably gonna stop playing his X altogether and start playing the PlayStation after E3?
Man,
didn't he say that in the
he'll play the PlayStation. I mean, literally, I'll tell you, he'll play the PlayStation before he play the Xbox. The problem is that the Xbox does not have they wanted to compete with Sony on buying. It was almost like a Unicron. They just want to chew up everything. And now that you've done it, so what do you have to show? What can you do on your own? I mean, they had Rare.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were dying to get away from them. So he says, well, what about Spider-Man? That was a reskin of Batman Arkham, what was it?
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight. No, Arkham Knights was a reskin of Spider-Man 2.
There you go.
Which is a Sony PlayStation exclusive, by the way. If we want to play that game. This Spider-Man that's coming out is not this. We've seen this is a continuation of what Sony has done with a property that they own, by the way. I just want to throw it out there. Right. This is a property that Sony owns, by the way. So there's nothing that you can show me on Xbox right now, today. And I challenge anyone who wants to debate me on that or debate us on that in the chat section. You show me a game that compares to Spider-Man that's coming out at the end of the year. You're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see it. That's an exclusive for the Xbox. I don't want not multi-platform. We're talking exclusive. Last of Us 2. It looks like a masterpiece just based off the trailer alone.
I mean, I will give it to Microsoft as far as the innovations that they've done as far as in the whole gaming community and everything else has been pretty much a step forward for everything. Well, I mean, when the first Xbox came out and it having its own hard drive and it's being able to go on Xbox Live, the systems at the time, I mean, you had the PlayStation 2, which still, I think, is still Sony's best-selling system they've ever had. But it really wasn't an online system. I mean, you could buy that little modem adapter and plug it up in the back of it.
The Snap-on?
Yeah, the Snap-on. But, I mean, that system wasn't an online. So, when the first Xbox came out, I mean, it was really innovative the way they did it. The way you could play online, play with your friends and stuff like that. And then even with the Xbox One, as weird as it sounds, when they first came out, they were saying, well, we're just going to have everything digital download. We're not going to do any disc for the games. And everybody just went up and roared like, oh, man, you can't do that. I got to be able to trade in my games. Whereas now you got GameStop that's almost to the point of like, well, we almost got to close down because everybody's actually buying digital games.
GameStop finna be bought out by Hot Topic.
Yeah. So, I will fault them for kind of, basically I see it as like them getting lazy with the as far as with things as game wise on there for it. But as far as the innovation of what they've contributed to the gaming community, I will commend them on that.
And I agree with you. And I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that because I never will forget how good 2K5 looked like on the Xbox versus the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then you look at how and I'll be the first one to tell you, Xbox is one hell of a like multimedia.
That first Xbox was, to me, that's probably the best one that they ever did out of all the systems they've done. That 360
outside of the weight.
Yeah.
That thing was a tank.
Yeah.
I mean, and the funny thing is, nobody's ever tried to take, like TC was saying, nobody's ever tried to take the fact that Xbox and Microsoft has the best online gameplay platform ever.
Yeah, that's not the discussion. That's exactly, you're right.
Like I am a diehard Sony fan, but I can tell you right now, I have honestly owned or paid for every single one of Microsoft's consoles. If you don't believe me, TC will tell you he gypped me on the Xbox release. You know what I'm saying? I got a free Xbox 360 when I bought one of my laptops years ago from the job, and I bought my son an Xbox One. He has a One S that he doesn't even play.
And he just would you believe he just said he agreed with us? Finally, see MC, we're coming for you next, my friend. The gospel comment hall roundtable discussion. If you listen, the gospel will come to you. If you listen, we preach this stuff all the time. We know. All right, so Nintendo, basically more of the same from Nintendo. Smash Brothers. Xavier, do you have a Switch?
I don't. Junior does.
I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know if you had a Switch or not.
No, Junior has a Switch.
I have no knock on Nintendo is their own. They're doing exactly what they're going for, a certain niche.
They're doing what they set out to do.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I have no knocks on them for that. There is a market for the Nintendo. There's a good friend of mine. Somebody's watching tonight. She has a Nintendo Wii. They know their markets. They know exactly who to get. And I will say I got a Nintendo Wii U for Mario Kart. So there's certain stuff that I will go get a Nintendo system for. I don't expect Nintendo to come out with games of the magnitude of God of War. Those days are long gone. Right. We still have, and if you long for that, they have the Super Nintendo remake system, and you have a regular Nintendo, if you can find one, remake system that has that kind of stuff on it. But those days are long gone.
Yeah, Nintendo know they would lose if they tried to compete with Microsoft and Sony on that aspect.
Exactly. And I think they're fine with what they're doing. No, nothing there that I can speak on as far as that. Ubisoft. Now this is a game that me and TC we've had our battles with. And that was the Division. I think that they're gonna learn. They've learned their lesson from the first one, and we'll have to wait till we see that online. How's it online when it comes out? But judging by what we saw, the Division 2 looks pretty solid. TC, thoughts on Division 2, which is when is that scheduled for release? Is that January of next year?
February, I believe.
February, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those games. It's like the first one where I kind of have my doubts on it, and I still even have my doubts on this one. But I think once you actually get your hands on it and be able to play it, that's going to probably sell you in the game. And the good thing I like that they're doing this time as opposed to the first game is that they're basically starting from the end and working their way back to the beginning. As far as they're working on the end game, because in the last game, once you got to the end of it, it was just like, all right, what do I do next? And you just standing around. There was nothing to do. I mean, you just basically just run the same mission over and over again, and that was it. Whereas this time, they're actually working on the end game first and working their way back on this one. So I'm excited to see about it.
Yeah, I'm intrigued that they're actually choosing Washington, and there's a lot of possibilities if they go the entire scope of what Washington has to offer. I felt like the last map was New York was decent size, but I don't think it was large enough for like you said, a game of that scale, because you just find yourself redundantly doing. I mean, you and Weldon, we did it for nights. We would just sit up and just do the same mission over and over and over and over and over. You know,
the dark zone,
and get robbed and pillaged by 14-year-olds. And so hopefully they've learned from that. And I mean, I watched a video the other day on Facebook, man, and it was like it was just mass chaos, and it was like, oh, it's still the same stuff going on. So hopefully that they've learned from that. Let's move over from that to Assassin's Creed. You alluded to it earlier. Assassin's Creed has bitten the appeal of God of War. And what is your thoughts on Assassin's Creed going Greek? I'll let either one of y'all can take that.
TC, that's all you. I've never been a fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise.
You know what, man? I've played basically all of them. So, you know,
out of 5 games, it's only been 2 different ones.
Pretty much. I mean, Brotherhood is still set the standard for any Assassin's Creed game. As far as old school Assassin's Creed, the newest one, Assassin's Creed Origins, they changed up the whole game, and it plays nothing compared to the way the old ones did. As far as you got different gear that actually has stats, and you can upgrade the gear and keep upgrading it, and they keep adding to the game. I mean, there's just expansion after expansion of content that they keep adding to it and levels to it too. So that one is definitely for me, that's the first day buy for the Greek game on there for it, because with the potential I've seen that they did for Egypt in the Origins, the Greek one really they can go all the way through the limits on there for it, because you're playing a Spartan on there. So I mean, you kind of throwing back to the old God of War style. Not that type of violence and combat, but you're going to get that type of mythology on there for it. So I'm excited to see that.
Cyberpunk 2077. Thoughts on that? No thoughts? Okay,
no
all right.
Thoughts.
All right, we're going to move on from that, and we'll move on to something that Xavier does know about. We're going to talk about, and I had this in my rapid reacts, but I just want to get some reaction because it was announced last week that the Flash will be going the Back to the Future route. It seems like to me, anytime there is trouble in paradise with that show, let's just reboot everything again. It never fails. Y'all called it last season. Now, I didn't watch much of any last season, so y'all called it. Y'all said once it's botched up, they'll just go back and they'll reboot everything like nothing ever happened. Xavier, I'm gonna let you come out of the gate with this one.
Man, they should have did this after Salvatore. I'm glad this is what they're gonna do. The only thing is, I don't like how they're doing it, because a long time ago, y'all can even say this. I said they should have started out with the original Wily West instead of the young fella that we have as Wally West now. Because if they would have did that and then brought on the Black Wally West, then this could have been an effective rebirth, and they could have brought in Godspeed. Like in 4 seasons of this show, I heard them mention his name one time, so they already said waited. But I mean, we already seen them quote unquote rebooted before with season 3 with the 2 episodes of Flashpoint. It was a disaster. I think this is going to be a disaster. I just hope that the way I feel right now is the same way. The end result of how I feel ends up being the same way that I was with Logan. You know what I'm saying? Where I had very low expectations. Then after watching it, I really thoroughly enjoyed the movie. So I hope I enjoy the season, as long as they get rid of, like, as long as they stay true to what they're doing by saying that Iris is not going to be on a mainstay on the show anymore, and just get me a better villain. And I still think they need to do 2 villains per season. Like first half of the mid-season finale, they need to end one villain, and then the second half of the season have a second villain. But all in all, I just have to wait and see what it's going to be like.
All right, TC.
I mean, it can't get any worse. That's really what I'm gonna say about it. To me, last season was probably it probably was, and I'm not say probably, it was it was the worst season of The Flash that I've ever watched because it was so much build up to the end, and then basically they just unplugged him at the end of it, and that was it. And it was like, this is it? Like, you unplugged the dude, and that's how you beat him? You pull the switch. He's sitting in the chair, you pull the switch, and he dies, and that's it. I mean, the show was garbage, man. Don't go back and watch it, man. Don't go back and watch it. I'm just going to tell you,
please
don't waste your time. I was thoroughly upset every episode, and I got more upset every episode I got deeper into this show.
You notice our conversations went from every single Tuesday throughout the entire show to every 3 episodes we might say something or had a little the dumpster truck gif on there.
Yeah. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I mean, you brought in another speedster, and I found out now she's gonna be a regular on the show now.
Cause that's his daughter, isn't it? Or granddaughter,
it's his daughter. She's gonna be a regular now.
Where's the twin?
Along with Dibney, he's gonna be back as a regular on there too. So
I just need him to be more serious. If he was a more serious character, I would like him more.
He'd be a cool character if he was more serious. He really would. Because the guy's a good actor, but just the way they portray his character in there, it's just, it's whatever at this point.
I'm just tired of the whole. It's all about Iris. It's all about Iris. It's all about Iris. First of all, what has Iris done? And I watched it on YouTube, and it made me think about it, and I'm mad that I never thought about it. But what did she do to actually qualify to be the head of the team? You got a team full of scientists, and you have a reporter, the daughter of a cop.
Nothing.
And she's running the team?
She contributes nothing to the show at all whatsoever.
She's running a team full of metas minus HR, who might as well be a meta because he was a genius, which I hated how they played him out after making his own thinker cap. That was the dumbest thing in the world. But I mean, like, how do you?
They're gonna fix it. They're gonna fix it when they go back in time.
No, they're not. No, they're not. I had no faith. No faith at all in that show.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I sure didn't get that sarcastic.
I was being sarcastic, man. I know it's gonna botch. We know this.
I need Cisco to stop being a little punk too, and I don't mean like gay or homosexual or anything like that. I need him to stop being a little punk. Stop with all these pop culture references and everything, and just vibe. Stop whining about your girlfriend who you don't see anyway.
But see that's what TC yesterday. TC put in the group. They're talking about DC's making. We're gonna make this man the most powerful superhero in the DC universe. But then you look at the TV show, and this dude can barely get out of the bathroom.
I mean, but hey, in the comic book world, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner.
Well, I mean, the comic book, he kicks ass,
takes
names,
he's all business. He's all business. He doesn't. It's not this BS that's in the show.
Right now, every now and again he will fall back on Iris, but by the end of that issue, he all business again. You know what I'm saying? Al, we talking about the atrocity.
We're gonna go back. We all know how the Flash is gonna turn out, so we're gonna step away from the Flash. But since Al has rejoined us, I'm gonna go back to Al. We're gonna talk about E3. I want to get your thoughts. Reggie just said Al is coming back from a Transformers commercial.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Oh man! But Al, we're gonna talk about. I want to get your thoughts on Xbox and the Sony showing. I don't. Did you catch any? While you off air, did you catch any of what we talked about?
Some of it, not all of it.
So, what are your thoughts on Xbox? Because the consensus here is that Xbox has focused more on buying competition as opposed to making solid IPs.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Am I okay?
You're good. You're good, brother. He done called the
I just
cuss
want to
out.
make sure.
Hey, he done called the cuss out Cox. He done called the cuss out.
I want to make sure because I don't want to start on no tangent and then expect not laughing at me and TC is snickering and
See, I stood up for you, man.
I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna buy you a hamburger tomorrow.
Hey, man,
but
don't buy him no hamburger because off the air he'll say something about it.
No, it ain't my fault. I mean,
it ain't my fault.
It's not my fault, man. I've done everything I could regarding this connection. I bought a router. Now hold on, I'm gonna get to what you're gonna say, but let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen. At the behest of Xavier Randall, he works at the Blue Box, aka Best Buy. I bought a router. I have Cox Communications. If you're in the Macon, Georgia area and you're watching this show, call your local Cox representative and tell them that their products up. Okay, so anyway, E3, and Reggie is watching this, and Reggie, this is for you because I heard you showed your behind in on Facebook. But anyway, I ain't breaking up, Bama. Okay, great. I would have to say, I own a PS4 and I own an Xbox One, and I gotta tell y'all, Xbox One was underwhelming to me. They had a couple of titles that I thought that was pretty good. Man, I didn't play the first two Crackdown. What am I gonna play? Crackdown 3, Terry Crews. I would be more entertaining watching repeats of all his Old Spice commercials.
But that's what Reggie said. That's gonna put asses in the seats.
Yeah, Reggie, if you watching this show, bro, I don't know what type of ganja you smoking, but whatever you smoking, bro, you need to leave it alone. Larry's on the scene. What's up, Larry?
Yo, what's up, brother? Welcome, man. Welcome, brother. How you doing tonight?
Hey, trying to make it home.
Good. I know that's right, man. I've been having technical difficulties, and Xavier been laughing at me. That's all right, though. You still my boy. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, man. I was really looking forward to for Microsoft to drop some gems. And I mean, yeah, they trying to boost it. They trying to get the knights and the pawns and stuff and the rooks and bishops on the chessboard. I see where they're trying to, their end game is as far as picking up all those developers, but people didn't tune into E3, man, to see all the people that you have acquired, man. People see E3 and you watch E3, man, because you want to know what's about to come out or what's going to be released within the next year. And I can honestly say, man, in an unbiased fashion, that Microsoft, in my opinion, they didn't deliver, man. The only thing that really I was excited about the Microsoft E3 was that DLC for Cuphead. Now, that's actually sad in a sense that game, which is an excellent game, by the way, on the Xbox One, that was the only thing that drew me. Most everything that they showed that I saw, I wasn't really impressed with Forza. Metro it's a good looking game, but that's a multi-platform game. I'm looking at exclusive that's gonna be like, okay, man, that gone. Like Gears of War 4. I bought that game, great game. Something that's not gonna be readily available on the Sony PlayStation 4. I didn't see that with E3.
But you had Gears of War Pops, man.
We ain't talking about that, man. We talking about E3 and the games. We're not talking about Pops Funko. That's another topic.
Yeah, it's a game. Gears of War Pops, man.
What?
It's the actual game. Yeah.
That's how much I paid attention to the crap. I'm not trying, and I'm not dissing Gears of War because I purchased every Gears of War game that they've released. Gears of War, in my opinion, is a very good game. It's one of my favorite first-person shooters. But I mean, when it comes down to content, man, that Tsushima, that samurai game, man, my nose was all wide. I was straight up wide. And you know what? It's funny you on, Larry, because no, and I'm not saying that to be dismissive or anything, because I remember before E3, you posted in the group and you said, I can't really quote you because I can't remember the exact quote. You said that if Microsoft didn't show anything that you were pretty much done with the Xbox. I don't know if that holds true because we're gonna get your opinion in a few minutes. But if that were me to make that statement, man, I didn't see anything personally that would make me say, well, daggone, man, they putting it to Sony. And it's not me trying to be a fanboy, because like I said, I own both systems and I play both of them equally, you know, even though I've been on that God of War, but I digress. PlayStation had The Last of Us 2, and just that demo was amazing. Okay, all right, with the Leviathan.
What about Resident Evil 2 remake?
Oh my God, that man! I'm telling you, Resident Evil is one of my favorite games in all of gamedom.
Probably my favorite franchise too.
I own every Resident Evil game except those rail shooters that they came out with. But from Resident Evil 0 from the GameCube, the remake of Resident Evil 2 on the GameCube, I still have those. I have Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube. I have Code Veronica. I have Nemesis. I have Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, and I have one that came out. So I will consider myself to be a diehard fan of the series. I love Resident Evil. Why are you smirking, X? That's what I want to know.
Hey man, he say, Reggie say, but what about Battletoads? But what about it?
Reggie.
What about it?
What about
it? What about
Reggie? You know what I need you to do.
I will say now that it's a welcome.
Halo was a soap opera.
It was like a Battletoads now was like a piece of nostalgia, and it can work. It's not a title, man, that you just gonna lay down everything and say, man, that was the best thing Microsoft did at E3.
Exactly.
But I mean, it was a welcome addition to
and it's all good for that to happen. I mean, but my thing is this: you cannot, Reggie Durham, you cannot put Battletoads against a Resident Evil 2 remake. You cannot put Battletoads logically. You might do that if you on acid or something, but you cannot sit here and make a valid argument. Oh my God, man, the new Battletoads remake, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be better than Death Stranding. Really?
Everybody gonna get stuck on that same board they got stuck on Nintendo.
Yeah, you saw what I put in the game. I said, why is everybody excited about this game? Because we all know how it plays out. We've seen it. We've lived this. We grew up doing this. We know the speeder bike board is good to everybody. We know this. There's no reason.
Man,
Go ahead, brother Al.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say,
you good?
There's no reason for folks to get excited for Battlefield. We know the speeder bike is gonna be the hardest board in the game. They remade Mega Man, and Mega Man is still hard as it was.
Ninja Game, bro. Ninja Game was the same way. Ninja Game is still a hardest game.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. And you know that game Nioh or Neo NIOH was made by Team Ninja, and I heard it was just as hard as Ninja Game. But the point I'm trying to make is that if you're trying to make an impact on the consumers to say, okay, this is what we're going to be doing within the next year. I mean, aside from Halo, which, you know, I'm a fan of the Halo series, but I haven't played Halo on the strength since Halo 3. But my thing is that it's only so far Halo going to take you, man, if your competition has at least what Sony had, at least 8 or 9 exclusives, not even the major games that they show, like The Last of Us 2 and that Tsushima Field of Dreams, that samurai game, which was awesome. You had the Resident Evil 2 remake. You had man, I can't even think. I had a list, but I can't find it because I had to reboot my computer. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. It was no comparison, man. And Reggie, man, we good, man. But I'm gonna tell you something. I don't care how much you say about what Microsoft did, man. If they can't, we should at least saw a new Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct's been out for what, 2.5 years. It's about time for another one. Or they could at least done an upgrade, Killer Instinct 2.0 or something. Gives people something to look forward to.
They gave you something.
I got you.
They gave you Terry Crews.
I got you,
man.
Terry
on that note,
they're doing DLC for Killer Instinct, aren't they?
Nope. It's a wrap, man. Killer Instinct, man. And this crazy part of Killer Instinct, they had a story mode, man. They did the first season, the second season, but they hadn't done one with the third season. But they put a new mode in there. But I mean, besides that, they needed something to be able to hang with the heavy hitters that Sony put out there. And I'm afraid to say, in my humble opinion, they didn't do it. But Larry, go ahead and go to bat for Microsoft, man, because you know you are the antagonist.
Reggie, I got you. But what I'm gonna say, Reggie, you might not like. I think.
Did he just do? Is he gonna do a Hulk Hogan?
I think Microsoft mailed in. I think Microsoft mailed in the towel. I think what they did was, but the video game world is cyclical, because I think I think Sony dominated with the PlayStation 2, and I think they got a little happy. And I think when the 360 came out and kind of stole the thunder, and the PlayStation 3 couldn't quite get it back to the end, the PlayStation 4 now has come back and taken its spot. Microsoft is happy right now being in all bases. So you're a distant number 2. There's no way you're gonna catch up this generation. So I think what you've done now is, because you've already saw the rumors about the Scarlet in 2020, and it's gonna be 2 or 3 different Xboxes. I think they put the chips on the table for the next system. And I think the next system will probably go ahead and get them back to where they want to be. You notice you got no date for Halo. It didn't give you nothing about Halo, because I think Halo possibly could be leading up to the next system. They need to launch Halo with the next Xbox and just leave it off of this generation totally. Gears of War and Halo are your only 2 franchises, because Microsoft has actually come up with IPs that people want to see, and they got consistent 10s. God of War got a 10. The Last of Us got a 10. These are franchises that people are holding on to and wondering, can Microsoft actually beat the game that they just put out, the Tomb Raider? Even though it was on both systems. And that's another thing, that the games that Xbox can capitalize on, they're on both systems. So the Xbox is a shooter system. That's what it is. First-person shooters, the controllers are better for it, the feel is better for it. And the online used to be dominant as far as video gaming was concerned. But now Sony is taking it to the next level with platformers and just straight games other than shooters. Shooters were dominating for a minute. You had Call of Duty, you had Halo, you had a bunch of shooters that were coming out, and that's the way game like it was going. And now all of a sudden, Sony kind of took it the other way and said, we're going back, man, to just gaming, bro. We're just going to take it back to where it is. God of War, Resident Evil, the stuff they showed at E3, it wasn't necessarily mind-blowing because we knew it was coming. But the games were so good that even though you knew it was coming, it was still like, wow, we just saw that. That Spider-Man game, even though, like Reggie said, it is Arkham unskinned, you know what I'm saying? It's still like, wow. When he jumped up in the air and threw all the webs out, man, I was like, oh, snap now. So, I'm an Xbox lover too, man. I got an Xbox One X and I got a PlayStation 4, man. And it's hard for me to actually say what I said, but I did say, I said, man, Microsoft, what's the use of having the most powerful system on the planet if it does you no good to put out good games for it? We can tout all day about, man, it's got this many cores, it does this, it does that. But if you ain't got the games to go on it, man, and draw people over here, you just wasted a bunch of money creating the most powerful system out there.
You over there driving a Lamborghini with BF Goodrich tires, man.
With an automatic Lamborghini, man, with a 4-cylinder. You know what I'm saying?
87 gas.
Right.
Al, speak on it, brother.
Let me just add to what Larry just said. At this particular point, man, after E3, really the only thing that Microsoft has, aside from what they release, that actually sets them apart from the Sony PlayStation that I really enjoy is the backwards compatibility. As it stands right now, that is one of the key features to the 1S and the 1X that Sony has not been able to provide. All of us are avid gamers. We have games crossing all kind of consoles, and you want to be in a position where you can streamline stuff. I have Xbox 360 still. I still have my Xbox One. And Larry, I will say what you just said, man, was actually like spot on, because it's been a flip flop between the systems ever since the Xbox One dropped, and not the Xbox One, but the first Xbox. And from the console war between Sony and Microsoft, then it's been a back and forth. But at the end of the day, man, Microsoft took a L at E3. And maybe they got something up their sleeve that they didn't decide to reveal, which I don't see why, being that that's one of the biggest stages for video games aside from the CES show, which I think is later on this year. But yeah, I mean, as that E3, I was really impressed, and like Larry said, we knew the games were coming. But just to see that first 10 minutes of that Spider-Man, he was going up against Rhino and Electro and the Vulture and all them and all the stuff that you can do.
I mean, Microsoft showed 50 games. Just the fact that they came out with 50 games to shows you that they want to put some effort forward. But like I say, man, there's no way you're going to make up 40 million systems in this generation. You're too far behind at this point. So it's a whole into chip this generation. It's just not. Go ahead and get on your horse. Go ahead and mail it in. Say, hey man, we gonna keep this one going for the people that bought it. But our true motivation and what are we doing is what we're working on to come back and take the spotlight again. There's no need for you to go ahead and go out here, man. Just like Sony did with the PlayStation 3. At the end, they knew, man, hey, we ain't got it this time. Say let's go ahead. We're gonna come out with PlayStation 4. It's gonna do what we needed to do, and it did just that. It took back everything that they needed to take back. It's hard for me to say that. I've never in my life said a PlayStation console was better than the Microsoft console. But hey, the facts are there. I mean, you can't dispute it.
All right.
Let me just say that one last thing right quick.
Go ahead.
And a testament to that, man, exclusivity is very important. And the reason why I say that is because I read an article, man, last week or the week before last. God of War has become, if not the top-selling, most exclusive game on the PlayStation, period, is set to become the biggest exclusive game sold, to the point that in the month of May, if I'm not mistaken, Sony pushed over 300,000 units off the shelves because of God of War. So my thing is that it's good to have that many games, but at the same time, you got 50 games, you're looking at quality over quantity. Yeah, you got 50 games and you want to put something out for everybody, but you want to put that eye-catching stuff that be like, man, I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, for me, it was that Cuphead DLC.
But I say this, it is my last thing saying. Everybody talk about Sony and the backwards compatibility and the cross-platform gaming. Sony doesn't have to come to the table at this point. They own all the chips.
Yeah.
So why do I have to bargain when I already got these people buying my systems left and right? I don't need that.
True.
You know what I'm saying? When y'all catch up and you give me a reason to have to put something out there that I have to do, then I'll do it.
Right.
But as of right now, I don't have to play ball with y'all.
Yeah.
Right. Larry, your thoughts on the acquisition of Fox by Disney?
I mean, you knew it was coming. I think Comcast just got they were like angry eBay builder. And they say, man, we just gonna throw a wrench in your plan there, man, and make you have to spend a little bit more money.
That's Antonio Coleman treatment.
Hey man, you ain't look. If I can't have it, you can't have it, man. I'm just gonna make it a little harder for you to get this book right here, man. So if you be in the 100, I'm gonna put 110 out there just so you have to spend 120.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Excellent, man. All right, well, fellas, it is that time. Well, no, we've got one more thing here. On Friday, season 2 of Luke Cage drops. I am excited. I have heard mixed reviews. I could give a damn about what the reviews say. I have waited a whole year for Luke Cage season 2. I'm excited. I'm excited personally. We're gonna go around the panel right quick. We're gonna start with Xavier. Next, Xavier. Your feeling going into the season 2 of Luke Cage?
I'm excited about it, but as long as it doesn't end like season 1 did, I'm straight. I just hope they improved on the fighting from Luke Cage, and I'm praying that the score it's just as good as season 1. But I can't wait.
Ooh, it's supposed to be better.
Yeah, I think Pete Rock, right? Pete Rock.
Yeah, it's supposed to be better.
Hey.
No, it's the
So
show
say
titles
that.
are gonna be after named after Pete Rock and CL Smooth song. So, but the guy that did the music from the last season, he's coming back. Adrian Younge, I think.
Okay, yeah, that brother. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking.
Which, by the way, he did the music for Black Dynamite.
Then they said Rakim. I think they said they got a Rakim song, man. That's gonna be.
But here's the thing, though. They said I can't go by people saying that it's supposed to be better because they said that Danny Rand was gonna be better than the Defenders, and he wasn't.
That's damn. You know what, man?
Just saying.
You know what, man? That's you're right, man. I can't defend the indefensible. TC thoughts, Luke Cage, my friend.
You know, man, I'm just excited to see Danny Rand. I mean, that's gonna sell the show, man.
But hey, I know YouTube got their guidelines and stuff. Y'all ain't shit.
Iron Fist is gonna come. Wait. This man been in training. He's gonna come back. He's gonna show y'all what he's learned and get y'all excited for the next Iron Fist. Y'all laughing. What? He's gonna get y'all excited for the next Iron Fist. I'm telling you, you're gonna look at that, you're gonna be like, man, I'm waiting.
The big mistake they making, man, they gonna let Iron Fist season 2 happen before Daredevil 3.
Yeah.
Hey man, give people a break from that trash, man. You just put out, man.
That is the biggest mistake in the world.
It's gonna be a treat. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be a treat. Y'all saying this now. Hey, when y'all see Danny Rand on the screen, y'all gonna be like, TC.
With a steaming team.
Every piece of candy that was given to you on Halloween.
Hey,
you did not.
Go ahead now.
Well, first off, I can't believe that TC is over there talking that. But I will say this: I will give TC the benefit of the doubt because TC is a pretty righteous dude when it comes down to information. However, I will say this: I don't see it, man. I mean, unless Jet Li taught that Joker, and he was in the hyperbolic time chamber where Goku and Gohan trained when they were going to fight Cell. I don't see it happening, man. No, I see Danny Rand as the martial arts version of John Cena.
Oh my God!
I see him as the martial arts version of Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. That's what I see him.
We ain't gonna do that to Marky Mark.
Well, he the UFC version of CM Punk.
Exactly. That's exactly what he is.
The Brawl for All version of Tank Abbott.
What's your thoughts on Luke Cage, man?
Me?
Man, Luke Cage.
No, I'm talking to Al. I'm talking to Al.
Pass the shit over to Larry, but man, I'm looking forward to it, man. I still got to finish Iron Fist, but
you ain't missing nothing. I told you that, man.
No, you don't.
Just go. Hey, just skip that and go to Defenders. It's the same thing.
Go to episode 9 and then watch the last episode. That's all you need to watch.
You need to watch the last episode.
Yeah, you ain't missing nothing on the Iron Fist.
Watch the episode that who directed it? Was it
the RZA?
Watch that episode.
I'm about to take that down. I'm gonna take that down.
You take that down, Matt. And Al, if you're on episode 3, stop at 3. Okay.
Go to the one that the RZA directed. That's the only one that's good out of that first season.
Hey y'all,
I can't remember which one because it was last year since I watched it.
I think it's episode.
Okay,
9.
so I won't.
I'm gonna buy a low grade Tomb of Dracula and put up there, man.
I'll Google it.
Well,
yeah, man.
And go watch Blade Trinity. You'll get more enjoyment out of Blade Trinity
than you will
Iron Fist.
You know what, man? I would rather watch fire ants carry a dead cricket back to their fire ant bed.
Then watch Blade Trinity.
Then watch Blade Trinity.
Hey man,
I would rather. Hold up. I would rather.
The dog,
man.
Hold
up. Hold up. I would rather make home from scratch than to watch Blade Trinity. I would rather play an Atari 5200 on a 4K TV.
It's on a 4K TV.
Blade Trinity. But on the Luke Cage thing, man, I enjoyed the first season. So what?
They watch Iron Man
3. Oh Lord, there you go.
There you go.
But,
I ain't gonna do it, man. I ain't gonna do it. Batman versus Superman. I ain't gonna do it.
But seriously though, man, I'm looking forward to it. I really liked that first season. I thought it was nice. I kind of didn't like how they ended the second season on, him going to jail. But I mean, that was to further the story. So yeah, whether or not I binge it is depends on how the first 2 episodes. If the first 2 episodes catch me, then I'll try to watch all of them at the same time. If not, I'll just space them out over the weekend. Larry.
Oh man, I can't wait to see Luke Cage. Honestly, man, I want to see. I think it needs to be a little bit better than the first season. I think his fighting was a little stiff, but that's really all the bad thing I can honestly say about the whole thing, man. Just the whole thing, man. It was unapologetically black, which no disrespect to any Caucasians out there, but it's always good to see us get our shine. I also enjoyed the fact it was unapologetically hip hop. That was another thing. But I think they're going to do Misty Knight good in this season, and I just can't wait to see it.
All right, sweet man. It is that time. But before we get to the hall, let's top 10. There's everybody have top 5. Excuse me, Al. You got your top 5 for this week, my friend?
I got mine ready.
Well, shoot, man. If you mention, I ain't got but 2.
2, okay.
On my top 5, I already know what they are.
Go ahead.
First of all, can y'all hear me?
Now we can.
Am I breaking?
Hey, look, you see Edge laughing, man. How you out there?
David's going to low. He is straight low down. I mean, just
He's killing himself over there, man. Oh man, X is killing yourself.
I put the mute on him. All right, go ahead, Al. I put the mute on him. Go ahead, Al.
See how I'm looking at you.
He did. He over there. He on the floor now. He rolling.
Oh man.
All right, you there, Al? Still there? On the TC. TC, what you got, man? You hit.
Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all can hear me.
Oh man, it took shots.
No, I'd probably say, man, my all-time favorites is it's probably my top 2 is the Secret Wars, and to me, I like Planet Hulk. I love the whole thing about it, man. Storyline wise.
All right, Larry.
Oh man, I have to say mine are pretty much X-Men centric. Of course, Days of Future Past, God Loves, Man Kills. Another one I like, man, was actually where Wolverine went through the whole thing where he was vulnerable, where he wore. I actually like that little series. Name of it, Old Man Logan. The original, not any of the remakes, but the 4 or 5 part series that actually is in Wolverine Volume 3. Yeah, they're probably my favorites.
Shit. Yeah, Al.
He trying to get back in.
Are you there, brother? All right. Well, all right. Xavier, go ahead. What's your favorite?
I was straight to TC started laughing, man. Oh man, I thought we were doing. I didn't know we were doing storylines. I just thought we were talking about properties altogether.
You know what? I didn't either, but I can tell you what. I'll just say, Infinite Crisis was one of mine, and X-Men wise, I actually like Fatal Attractions coming up as a kid. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite ones. I remember I had to get all of the books in order to see it through.
Holograms.
Yeah, all the holograms, man. That was adding incentive. Yeah, but
I hated Fatal Attractions. That straight Wolverine that was adamantium. I hated that.
Yeah, I know that. I know you hated that. Xavier, you go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
I mean, I'll just go ahead and do the properties that I was talking that I thought we were gonna do.
Hold that one for the next show. We're gonna do it for the next show. Al, what's your favorite storyline? Failing Saga and whatever.
Cox Cable trying to get my cable right. That's the current. Currently we're on part 3, but
he's retired.
You know what though? Seriously, man, you know what I would like to see? I think the next big can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear, brother.
Yeah, right now.
I ain't breaking up, X. I'm glad you went.
He took himself off the screen, bro.
Thank you, since you're so tickled. If they brought in the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, man, I would like to see them do that storyline they did. Actually, maybe the Onslaught Saga, and have Franklin Richards come in and do his thing. I think that would actually be on a grandiose scale along the lines of what they're doing with Thanos. But I mean, with that, for that to happen, they would have had to establish both the X-Men and Fantastic Four in the MCU.
Years.
For a minute. But I think that would, say for example, if both properties were in the Marvel and the cinematic universe, I think that would actually be hell of a crossover to have, because everybody was involved after Professor X and Magneto became Onslaught. It affected everybody because Franklin Richards he created a little pocket universe for all the people that didn't die under Onslaught's tyranny. But aside from that, Secret Wars and Avengers versus X-Men would be, I think Avengers versus X-Men would be an immediate jump in once they introduce the X-Men into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So they got so much stuff, man, now that they can do. They're not really fettered by the fact that they can't mention certain people. I'm looking forward to the day where they mention something about Charles Xavier or the Xavier Institute in one of the Marvel Cinematic movies.
It's just sad, man. We couldn't see Chris Evans or Hugh Jackman in the roles that define them, man. They're going to the next saga, man. Because you have, man, you just think about Captain America, and not saying the next dude can't take the role, but man, they have Captain America in some of them storylines, man.
When it was Cap, Black Widow, and
Wolverine, yeah.
All right, fellas, it's that time. It is that time. It is our time for our hauls for the week. Antonio, we're gonna go ahead and start things off with you tonight, man.
I'm out today, man. I ain't got nothing.
Oh, he's sitting out. We're gonna go with Xavier.
My stuff too far out of reach. Go ahead. I got mainly
most of it's behind you. Most of it's behind you.
Yeah.
Wow, I saw that, man. I said, Jesus Christ, boy. Like my man Reggie said, like a store.
Okay. Wow. Unbelievable.
So my stuff is somewhere in there.
You got an Emporium.
You got a pop museum back though, for real though.
That's Pop Emporium.
Did you go shells, man, or is it just how your room set up?
That's my old Blu-ray.
Okay.
But I'm finna go to Michael's and get the, how they got the little baseball bat displays.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you can get them for like $30, and they hold like 15 pops. So I'm finna start doing that.
Yeah, man, it's nice.
And it's a glass. It got glass in front of it too, so I ain't got to worry about nobody touching it.
It's an awesome display, dude.
Thank you, sir.
And we're gonna be able to throw you out there, man. You gotta be careful, man.
Throw me out where?
You gotta start putting you in competitions, man.
Oh no.
Right. Pop competitions.
Oh no. Nope. I didn't see too many people that destroy mine.
All right, Larry, what you got over there, Larry?
Hey, The plantation caught me today, man. I couldn't even go pick up my stuff. I got some heavy hitters for you next week, though.
Oh, wait a minute. That sounds like you know something. All right. Okay.
Hey, no, they ain't no 180 women. Good stuff, though.
Okay. Al?
I got a few. I went down the wheels today, man, showing some little shout outs to Comics Plus. I was too lazy to go up the road, man. I didn't feel like going to McDonald's today, man.
Yeah, you look about like me, man. Look wore out, man. Tired.
Yeah, man. I'm tired of driving, man. I'm glad when the X gene kick in, so I can finally have my mutant powers revealed. I don't know what they're gonna be. I hope it ain't nothing useless. Like Al can talk to birds. Like why? You know,
yes,
what's
like Cypher, huh?
Yeah, Cypher would be cool because that would actually allow me to, if I can understand all kind. Man, I'd be rich. What that apocalypse stone say in Egypt? Yeah, I tell you, but you might die. Okay, so I went down to Comics Plus, picked up a couple things. Larry, you're probably gonna crack a smile on some of these. Let me get my cheap stuff out the way. I went down there and
oh man, this man got levels.
Any Marvel title you print out, he gonna be happy. All right. You can have
not
Squirrel Girl number 0 or -5. He gonna be happy. All right.
No, man, Squirrel Girl, man.
Hey, that's good stuff.
I told y'all he gonna say it.
Good book, man. I'm telling you.
No. I'm not reading no story about no girl in no darn squirrel suit, man.
Bro, who ended up helping them beat Thanos, man?
You know what? Somebody was drunk when they wrote that story, man. Squirrel Girl beating Thanos.
That's all I'm gonna tell you.
I read about it, man, but just because they did that don't mean it makes sense.
But the book is actually a good book, though, man. Check it out. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is actually a good book.
Man, mute his mic. Mute it now.
I'd rather read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur than Squirrel Girl. Anyway, I got an X-Men back issue that I needed to complete some of my holes. The X-Men 70. X-Force 80, old back issue. And then I picked this one up, which I thought was very interesting. I'd never seen this before. Star Trek.
Yeah, I got that.
X-Men. X-Men.
I would have gave that to you, man.
Larry, it ain't no good.
No, it's you talking about the story?
Yeah.
Oh God! I think he's saying he has multiples.
No, I'm saying I would have gave him the one I had.
Oh.
I wish you had said that earlier. Thanks a lot, Larry. I got a DC book, Mortal Men #1, and the only reason why I bought this book is because I saw they're up to 6 issues, and issue 6 had the Batman Who Laughs on it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see how the first one is, and I might start reading that. Marvel, I picked up Weapon Loss #2.
You saw who's at the end of that one?
No, I haven't read it yet. Mystery in Madripoor #1.
Good stuff.
Had this is the last book I got. X-Men.
Yeah, I know you had to get it.
Well, of course, you know Colossus is my boy. That's the wedding of Colossus and Kitty Pryde. So I might pick up another book just for the sake of it in case that book shoot up in price. I doubt it though. But that's it for me, man.
Hey, can I ask a quick question? Since I went on the show when y'all talked about Deadpool 2.
Sure.
Al, how did you feel about Colossus 2 getting knocked out?
It did, didn't it?
How do I feel about what now?
Colossus getting his tooth knocked out.
Man, I thought it was stupid. I mean, it wasn't no different than the first one when he was eating cereal. I mean, come on, man. The dude in his armor form has no need to breathe. So why is he eating cereal? I'm just saying. I mean, that's the comic book fanboy. The average person wouldn't know that. But he has no need to sleep, eat, or breathe while he's in his armor form.
All right, fellas.
Uh-oh.
This Joker got
Yeah, you already know what time it was, man. They why he looking at us like, man, come on, do something.
Yeah.
You know, he finna do something.
Hey, he got the Adventures of the Shoney's Big Boy #1.
Hey, the little Matt might pull out Amazing Fantasy 15 over there.
No.
Amazing Fantasy 14.
He did.
Xavier saw it in my possession.
Yeah, he had Amazing 14 in his hand.
Xavier saw it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We got a Marvel 2-in-1 #2.
Yeah, I remember you got that one.
Yeah, got that one. Spider-Verse #1, the variant.
Hey man, #2 is on fire right now, boy.
I know you got #2, don't you? Did you get one wheel? Yeah. All right. We got a Mr. Miracle, number 9. We got Suicide Squad 43.
That's nice cover.
Yeah. Momentina. We've got the Flash 48. We've got Hawkman #1.
Larry, why you didn't say that was a nice cover?
For which one? The Flash? It wasn't a nice cover.
See, there you go.
You said it was or what?
It wasn't a nice cover.
Okay.
Any Marvel version, he loved.
Batman 48.
That's a lovely cover, sir.
Deathstroke #32.
Oh man.
Well, what about this one here, Larry? What about Deathstroke?
It's alright, man.
It's the wrong colors.
If it was Deadpool,
right. If
Deadpool, it was black and red.
Maybe Wade Wilson. Yeah, but it's nice.
You got the wrong logo on it.
All right, so I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Shannon. I was on assignment last week in near Athens, and on the way back, I decided I'd stop by Middle Georgia Cards and Comics, which we've all got to go by there. By the way.
Hey man, is that what left here? You know, we used to have.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, we used to have a Middle Georgia Cards.
Yeah, but it's not that guy. It's not that guy.
Oh.
I thought it was too, but it's not that guy. He this dude has the stuff at store price. I got Miss Marvel #1 for $2.99.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take this. No problem. So we got that. We got Marvel .1, which I picked this one up, and I got this at cover price, and I got this on eBay. Larry, I got this.
I saw where you
$12.
Hey man, you better hold on to it.
Yeah, Marvel, all new Marvel Now .1 #1.
What's the significance of that cover?
First appearance of
Kamala
Khan.
It's got my boys on there though on the front. Sunspot and Cannonball.
Yeah. And this book is it's gonna go out the roof.
Yeah, it's going.
Yeah, it's up there. And that's it, man. That's it. As you all know, I'm trying to save money to June.
Yes, sir.
July 13th is not getting
3 weeks away.
Yep. Friday the 13th is knocking on the door. TC, we gotta get you. TC, you gotta go with us, man. You gotta go with us to the show, TC, bro. Come on.
I didn't even think about it being Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it's a Friday.
Friday the 13th, man. We're running to Jason while we up there, man.
And I'm gonna have Junior with us.
Yeah, we're gonna have the crew. Well, that is it for tonight. Antonio Coleman, any important words here before we go?
Keep on collecting.
All right, keep on collecting. Al Rainey, Cox sucks.
Boycott Cox Cable.
All right, Larry.
Hey, another week in Marvel heaven. Peace.
Xavier Randall.
DC still has a better storyline.
Hey, wait! I gotta say it. Did you see the comic book sales for the last week, man? Did you see it?
Oh,
you know,
we'll deal with that off.
I do want to address that. I want to address that. Hold on. Larry with Marvel is like every LeBron fan out there.
Oh, stop, man.
They gonna go find some stat to boost why
but
they love what they love.
Wait. Now you the one throwing it out at me. I just told you.
I said the storyline.
No, I told you comics go in cycles. You used to always point out the top 10. I said, man, the top 10 makes nothing.
I never brought up top 10 because I don't follow that because I read both Marvel and DC.
Well, put like this, when it was brought up in the groups, you use that as a weapon. You're right.
Yeah, I threw it back at you.
Well, all right. We'll deal with this off air. Want to give a special shout out to John who subscribed tonight. Thank you for subscribing. Everyone who is watching, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell all. Sharing means caring.
I need all y'all to comment Marvel in the comments.
That's why your connection broke up. Trying to.
I need all y'all to comment. Cock cable sucks something. Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Nah, hey, thank y'all for watching this, man.
Y'all have a good night, and we will catch y'all the week. Wait, but let me see. Let me check here what we got. July 4th.
Week before.
We're gonna do
before. Yeah, we'll have Independence Day show. Fireworks.
I don't know if I'll be able to make that show.
We'll see. We'll see.
No, like it's gonna be unfiltered if I'm on the show.
You might well wait for the. You want to wait for the con.
You know what? We're gonna wait for the week of the con. We'll do that.
At the con, ain't we?
We're gonna do 2 that week. We'll do one. We'll do the one on the 11th, and we'll do it like we did like before Xavier. We'll do one.
Yeah.
Show, so.
We need to do a show bashing Cox cable.
I can't bash Cox.
Hey man, the gigabyte, man. They want you to buy the gigabyte. TC tell about the gigabyte.
They do me well, man. I got the ultimate, man. That's the only way to go.
I know. I don't need that.
He just wants a decent pair of pants.
Hey, Larry, come holler at me. I can get you right.
Solomon Grundy just wants a decent pair of pants.
I'll do it, Holmes.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We will catch you all in a few weeks. Have a good night.